welcome to this. This is Blast from the Past 1920 Week 1. The Decatur Staleys at the Green Bay Packers. Things will be a little different in if you're unused to my playstyle, you realize I usually shut the announcers off. I didn't. I am pretty impressed that the coach is in here. I think he must be the first guy to ever appear in a WWE game and a NFL game. Okay, so anyway, a little different from Sack the Future, as I'm the only one in this. In 1925, however, John M. will join with the Chicago Bears. In 1933, he will join with the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm also going to run the Baltimore Colts and the Green Bay Packers, unlike Sack the Future, where I will run the Bills and the Falcons. Why the Packers and Colts? Well, because otherwise I'd have to wait around the 1960 to have one of my teams. Also, I'm already doing it with the Bills and Falcons. No use doing it again. Now, the Packers weren't in... Actually, the NFL... First of all, let me start there. The NFL wasn't the NFL. There's Pard Pierce, the Decatur Staley quarterback. The NFL was known as the All-American... or the American Professional Football Conference, the APF. No, the American Professional Football Association, the APFA. And the Decatur Staleys were one of the founding members. The Green Bay Packers were not up and went 9-1-1. Now, for ratings, the system I use is probably going to be vastly different than the system that you're used to in Sack to the Future with Phantom Fighter. Simply because I'm doing it, not Phantom Fighter. The players are rated based on how many games they started, Hall of Famers, awards, and obviously since the Green Bay Packers are an independent organization, a lot of their players in 1920 didn't come back in 1921, and therefore have never played in the NFL. So there is a lot of weaker ratings for the Packers and the Bears. Speed-wise, as you see, Pard Pierce just goes deep. I don't expect to have a very good season with the Packers this year. To Jimmy Conzelman, future Hall of Famer, played 1 year with the Decatur Staleys before heading off to Rock Island and other teams. So Pard Pierce just hits Jimmy Conzelman. Burns past Leaper for the touchdown. The Packers organization has a few players who stuck around in 1921, and so you'll see, like I said, it's going to be a struggle. I am not going through and changing the ratings for all the semi-pro teams because honestly there are 28 semi-pro teams at this point, as only the Bears and Cardinals that were around are still around. I'm using the Packers and I'm using the Colts franchise as the Dayton Triangles. I'll explain that more when I get to the Colts game. I'm also doing the rosters team by team as I go. And now there were 14 teams in the APFA in 1920. For the 10 teams, or actually 11 because the Packers weren't in there, there's Curly Lambeau, the quarterback. The highest rated one of the highest rated Packers, as he is a Hall of Famer. Nice face on him too. Kind of looks like Aaron Rodgers, don't it? All right. Ooh. Whoa. I don't have. Oh, you know why? I don't have my playbook. That's why. Aha. I have to go look and see if my playbook is available for download. Lambeau hands off to Wally Ladreau. Ladreau loses yards. There's Petty. Ross Petty comes in to make the tackle in the backfield. Run, quick pass. Yeah, I don't have half my plays. Oh well. Lambeau went deep, didn't have much. Here's a look at the offensive line. Carl Zoll stick around, or actually I think Marty Zoll, his brother, does. Wes Leeper, Jen Gallagher, Wally Ladreau. A lot of names you're not going to recognize, because I didn't recognize them. Oh man, absolutely destroyed. Once again, Ross Petty on the blitz. What I'm going to do with the 11 NFL teams in their rosters, as I go to play a game against the semi-pro, for instance, the Colts are, well, the Dayton Triangles, I should say, are starting out against week 1. I forget who they're playing. You'll have to excuse me. Look on the bottom, maybe we'll see it. Of course, the scores on the bottom, you see, aren't going to be accurate either, because names will change, especially when it gets the Colts. I haven't even signed my wife into the league yet, so needless to say, I won't be advancing this after this week. Anyway. Oh well. You'll notice with the Packers, I numbered them consecutively, but with the Bears, I left the numbers from the current starters, with a couple exceptions. Like George Halas, I gave him number 1. I don't have the 46. Oh well. Oh, I'm bouncing around. Now, you also say, well, why did I put both teams in dark-colored jerseys? Look at the starting offensive line, or defensive line: Dutch Dwyer, Sammy Powers, and Nate Abrams. Buff Wagner, Cowboy Wheeler, Charlie Sauber, and Herman Martell. You get Curly Lambeau in the backfield with Wes Leeper, Wally Ladreau, and another. Why did I put both teams in dark jerseys? Because that's what happened back then. That's how it was. Teams only had one set of jerseys. Uniforms. And with these two teams, luckily I have the classic uniforms. This is also my first time playing Madden 19. So any nuance changes, I haven't put in schemes and all that. I don't understand that. There's all stuff I gotta learn. Number 5, Herman Martell on the return. complete to number 4. Is that Leaper? Yep. Wes Leaper. Wally Ladro bust through for the first time. Now, if you watch my little roster video that I did, there's George Hallis. He's number 2 on defense. I mean, tonight fits. Pard Pierce, the quarterback at strong safety. He's 5'6". Yeah, so the rules in 1920 much different. When I was a kid, here's the story is gonna be where the genesis for both Sack to the Future and there we go, we got the first down there. When I was a kid, probably about 10, 11 years old, Tecmo Super Bowl came out. I love that game. The first game where you could play the season. And then Tecmo Super Bowl 3 came out. And you could play 3 seasons. Or Tecmo Super Bowl 2 for the Nintendo. You could play 3 seasons of the Super Nintendo. It was awesome. And then the NFL had their 75th anniversary season in 1994. And I had to thinking, man, how cool would it be, and the technology improved by the 100th season, 2018, if somebody, of course at the time my thinking was Tecmo, came out with a game where you could play the entire history of a franchise. You could pick the Chicago Bears and go back to 1920 and start, and you could play in several different modes. You could play current, you could play pick any season, go back and play 1985, and I didn't understand, of course, all the nuances of licensing and all that back then, so I just figured the names would be on there. But now, of course, they're not, but we could go and we could edit them if we wanted. But the rules would be year specific, the uniform look, the schedule, the league. Say if you took 1960, you'd have, if you pick 1960 NFL, you'd have 13 teams, 2 divisions, and play for a chance to play in 1 playoff game. If you took 1920, you'd have 14 teams, 1 conference, and whoever got the best record at the end was champion. No playoffs. And you'd have free range of motion if you took the 1 season, where you could take 1985 and say, man, you know, it would have been better if the 85 Bears had Eric Dickerson sharing time with Walter Payton, and go trade for him. Or another motion is you go back and you don't have that ability to trade it. And that's where the idea for Sack to the Future and now Blast from the Past came. You go back to 1920, you're going to be the Bears.
So now the Packers turn things over to special teams crew. They're on for the field goal try. From the right hash, this from 44 yards out.
Okay, you're going to be the Bears, you're going to be the Packers, 1921, you're going to be the Bills in 1960, whatever. You're given that roster. Of course, you'd have to go through it nowadays and edit the names and probably numbers, but you're given a roster. You are not allowed to make any moves. It didn't happen. So let's say you're the 1987 Rams and you're killing it with Dickerson, and all of a sudden in October a notification pops up that Dickerson has been traded to the Colts. Nothing you can do about it, because that's what really happened. Of course, it would be running back blah blah traded to the Colts. Now hopefully you edited the right name at the right time. You didn't call him some other. I think by the ratings you'd be able to tell. But that was my dream. Well, moving forward, we're less than a year away from that season now, the 100th anniversary season of the NFL. Let's be realistic. EA Sports, who owns exclusive rights, is not going to make that game. But they do give us this, and they give us the ability to roster edit. So if nothing else, we can't have the uniforms don't look 100% like 1920. I mean, they got one bar face masks on their helmet. The players are, or the rules are different. There's too many people. The stadiums are too big. Whatever. But what you can do is you can make the rosters look as accurate as possible. Right? Curly Lambeau, number 51 on defense. Coming up, making the tackle on number 24, Kohler. That would be Bob Kohler. Northwestern grad. Born in 1894.
So 1/4 in the books here on our first Sunday night telecast of the year. 7-3 the score. We're back to Lambeau in just a moment.
You know, I set team color up, and some guys are wearing for all the uniforms for these two teams, so that their long sleeve shirts would all be team color specific. So to make it look as accurate as possible. Look at guys on the sidelines with no sleeves. But some guys are wearing white sleeves, and some guys are wearing dark sleeves, and whatever. Oh man, it just got ran over. Number 30. Of course, unless I see the names, because there were no numbers then, so I can't just count the quarter. Hey, the one video on. I'm actually the guy that tackled him. So hopefully I can squeeze into the playoffs. Oh, lucky tackle there. I got to get some pressure on Pierce. Jimmy Conzelman again. Oh, Hall of Famer. Well, he's hard to guard. He's a whole lot faster than any of the Packers. The Packers were no slouch in 1920 on their independent schedule. They went 9-1-1. But like I said, they just don't have the players who would end up playing in the pro league the following year when they joined the NFL. Pierce is going to keep it. Oh, and Part Pierce is injured, which makes it difficult considering he also plays on defense, and I can't control that, so it is what it is. Now we're really going to get in the depths here. Don't know who else, quarterbacks weren't quarterbacks back then, so I just kind of filled in the roster with the names as I got to them. Whatever said back, I used, Oh, anyway, the actual Week 1 game for the Green Bay Packers was played at Hagemeister Park, which is their home park in Green Bay. against the Chicago Boosters, and the game ended in a 3-3 tie on September 26, 1920. Looking at the list of names, it doesn't look like they played anybody. Maybe, no, they didn't play anybody that would play against an NFL team, so again, hard to judge. Bob Kohler on the run. Why did I choose Green Bay? Well, the choices were pretty much, I knew I was going to run the Colts organization, and like I said, I will get into why I'm using the Dayton Triangles roster when I get to that game. But so my choices, if I wanted to have a team that were the Chicago Bears, the Chicago Cardinals, or I'm sorry, the Decatur Staleys, the Chicago Cardinals, or the independent Green Bay Packers. So I figured couldn't go wrong with either Bears or Packers. But some of the, you know, I guess I'd rather have Bart Starr, Lynn Dickey, Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers than Jim McMahon, Sid Luckman, Mitchell Trubisky. That's about the only reason.
One thing to point out that we saw a second ago are some of the new rules in the NFL this year regarding kickoffs. Yeah, nowadays, the kickoff team, no more running starts.
You'll notice on the starting offensive line, they're numbered pretty much right across the board. Except for the guard, he's 60. So it goes 7, 8, 9, 60, 11. And on defense, there was the guy who wore number 10. Yeah, that was a mistake on my part. I'll try and get it fixed. It's the same guy. It's just numbers are backwards. Can I turn those little things off somehow? I don't. Oh. Let me see. How about that? That should be all I need. Lambeau's pass complete to Nate Abrams for the first down. And sometimes, like the starters in 1920 for the semi-pro team, like Abrams here, actually will start in 1921. So I gave him the start here because he's rated higher. Because he went and played in the NFL for the APFA. Yeah, that's still on there. Oh.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard.
Really, really slow there, number 5. That ball was 6 of 10 for 91 yards. Dwyer, Martell, Leaper. Man, I turned up the juice and all of a sudden he just slowed right down. He bolted across the field on his pattern.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
And Lambeau's kick is good. As we get to score a touchdown in the NFL. And making everybody offensive and defensive, you know, playing both ways, and then the kicker and punter being one of the players too. I only had 3 guys on the Bears that I had to fill in for. So we got Staley DeBear, Bear Down, and Phantom Fighter, who happens to be a Bear fan from South of the Future. Because I could have gone in the way we did with South of the Future and cut guys, but then I knew they were signed, so. Bob Kohler, 6 rushes, 20 yards. Curly Lambeau on the tackle. He's all over the place today. The Hall of Famer. And 2 minutes to go. Almost intercepted. Curly Lambeau was also the coach in 1920, so playing quarterback, middle linebacker, kicker, punter, he's also coaching the team. The ones without the orange and the ones with the orange. Herman Martell with his 4th reception. And there's that internet connection is not sufficient, blah, blah, blah. Seems to happen at least once a game. Oh, just can't beat the blitzes.
The Packers on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is going to be 3rd and 13. They'll look to throw.
Pass complete to Nate Abrams for the 1st down. Excuse me. Just throws it away.
My observation has been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talked about an offense's ability to keep the defense on balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Oh well, fourth down. Let's chip away at this some more.
These guys had to settle for a field goal the last time moving the ball down the field. They may have to
Almost blocked. 14-9 with 20 seconds to go. Well, I'll do my best to try and give you history lessons as much as I know them. I'm going to be learning along with you. I'll do some research on the players and whatnot as best I can, but hopefully you enjoy it, especially Packer fans. Bear fans should enjoy the two games. One of the teams, I believe the Packers, does play the Cardinals. And like I said, all the quote-unquote semi-pro teams, their starters are going to be made up of players from the other 11 teams. And that's half. Let's see how the halftime show is for Madden 19. There's Dutch Sterneman, by the way, another Hall of Famer. This is new. Interesting.
Meanwhile, our game has been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the second half? Find out. Let's hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Cotton and Charles Davis. All right, Coach. Thank you. We welcome everyone back for quarter.
Nice. Really changes it up a little. I like that. I noticed they don't show their name on the kick return. I can't see that. Oh well. What's the goal? First career touchdown for Nate Abrams. Okay. Okay. Wally Ladro just kind of casually walking around. This running game is going to be hard this year. Oh no. Ingwerson. Bert Ingwerson. Perhaps maybe the first great middle linebacker in Bears history. Man, what was I thinking? Just like the country song. I know I was feeling I wanted to go deeper. But what was I thinking? Oh. Pass complete to Walt Veach. One of the few players who, he was the last of the creations to go both ways, or edits to go both ways. Then there was one guy who didn't, and then the 3 roster fillers.
Let's see if they take the advice from Mr. Davis.
Right up the freaking middle. Bob Kohler. I see guys on the sidelines have names. That's cool. That's interesting. That's a upgrade. Elbow bursitis will return soon. So none of my blocks are, they all have one guy not blocked. Great. So the worst possible case scenario just happened. Come out down 14-9, get the ball to start the second half, throw the interception, and then touchdown. Sauber? Sauber, okay. Or, it's way down there. I do have the power running game. Why are you juking? I'm not juking. I'm pushing straight ahead run. We can move assisters. And every start a new. Manual. Injuries are way too high too. There was a bit of a hole. I could have probably picked up 5 yards or so, and he was juking. Wally Ladro, 11 rushes, 29 yards. Nate Abrams, man, he runs his pattern nice and fast. Gets the ball. Ball in his hand, and he's slow as heck. Jimmy Conso, of course, kill me on offense. Why not kill me on defense too? Bob Kohler, 48 yards now. Orlo McLean on the tackle. Got time to give us to Kyle McQuarter. Oh. Jen Gallagher on the tackle. Heard the song "A Boy Named Sue"? Well, here's a linebacker named Jen. don't have any other information about him. He wasn't. Yeah, I'm on the Wikipedia page because there isn't a Pro Football Reference for 1920, and there's no Wikipedia article for him. Oh, Jimmy Conzelman. And luckily, I still haven't learned who the new quarterback is. It's only 3 of 7. It's not as good as Pard Pierce was. Conzelman, of course. Looking at team pictures, it looks like in 1931, the first time numbers were in the pictures, but yet I remember hearing all these stories about Red Grange and actually seeing pictures of him wearing number 77. So, I don't know. One of the problems with Pro Football References is right through into the 40s, it doesn't list guys' jersey numbers. If they didn't play into the modern era, 1960. Bob Kohler picking up another first down. If you're just joining us, this is the 1920 season. I don't have a 4-3. I don't have a 4-3. And okay, whoever just joined us just left, so never mind. Heard probably 1920's like, oh, I'm out of here. Alright, let me pay attention. Who's the quarterback? That's not going to show. Stepping up to make a hit. Number 54. Wally Leaper, running back. Wes Leaper, sorry. The receiver, Wally Ladros, running back. 3rd and goal.
False start, offense.
75. Can't see who it is. It's not showing.
Still 3rd down.
Well, they took away the part where they show in a graphic who made the penalty. Who is 18? They need to show us a little easier, a little more. Who's doing what? Oh, I overran the block. Chamberlain. 18, Chamberlain. Guy Chamberlain, another Hall of Famer. Well, let's see if we can get a touchdown. Charlie Sauber on the return. Gonna be a long season. I don't expect the real Green Bay Chicago game to be this. It should be closer this year than in the past couple, but
situation would have meant that there was an incomplete there and picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across the zone,
Pass complete to Nate Abrams. Pierce now on defense gets hurt. So whatever the injury was on offense, now this counterpart goes out on defense. Interesting. That was almost not even worth the completion. The ball got tipped and Dutch Dwyer came back and caught it. Trying to make believe he was Dutch Thurman or something. Ugh. Jerry Jones on the sack. Wow.
this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know, the rhythm seems off. Gets this one away, and it's another goal. This is taken
Getford.
Now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. They are clicking all cylinders. They seem to be just
They're all rookies, so. Rookie out of Bethany, West Virginia College.
Getting into the zone, all just that everything is working for them. Every move they make works. It clicks.
I don't know. I think I did pretty good on the ratings. I mean, I've got a much blander formula than what Phantom Fighter did, but the Packers have been hard to play, hard to control, and the Bears, there's 4 or 5 players that are just dominating, and they are the Hall of Famers. You know, Jimmy Conzelman, George Halas. Well, George Halas doesn't mean anything, but Dutch Sterneman, Guy Chamberlain. Bob Kohler's been doing real well too. Now, he's a 26-year-old fullback out of Northwestern. Feitner on the reception, or Fitchner. Oh, one more thing I want to add about. I got in this a little bit with some of the Sack Future games. Names that are considered offensive by EA Sports. Shank. Shank. Why is that offensive? What am I saying? You know, you think of Shank, you think of the movie Shawshank Redemption and Prison Weapon, a Shank. So what is about Shank that I couldn't use the correct spelling for the guy? It's the dude's name. I had to add a C in there. Whatever. Had several in Madden 18, but I could see it. There was a word or letters that were hidden inside a name that were like, oh yeah, I see that. Kyle McCorder on the reception. Curly Lambeau brings him down, but it's out of bounds.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and get rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
How'd that happen? No, another probably have Walt Veach. Oh, so Walt Veach is the quarterback. Okay, one of the last names I used. Okay, I got it. Oh, except yeah, I gotta go in. I gotta fix the sliders. I just kind of rushed in this game because I wanted to play it, and I should have took my time. And I will with the Dayton Triangles / Baltimore or Indianapolis Colts game. I'm going to make sure I get all the settings right before I play. And see, they lost 21-9 to the Bengals, but that game hasn't been officially played yet. So, of course, maybe it has. No. McCorder picked up a couple yards. It's now 3rd and 14. I need to download my playbook if it's available. Capricorn 1 has made a playbook. If not, I'll have to find something new this year. Kyle McCorder picks up 10. It'll be 4th down. Curly Lambeau on the tackle. There we go. See, I got the load blocker. Why don't I have it for the extra points? That makes no sense.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th. And you know, in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said. And now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
1919, the Acme Meat Packers were founded by the Acme Meat Packing Company in Green Bay, Wisconsin, to sort of give their guys something to do after work to relieve some stress. Played an independent schedule in 1919 and 1920 before being eventually sold to Curly Lambeau, who dropped the Acme part and meat part and named them the Green Bay Packers. Sometime in 1920, actually. Kohler on defense wearing 39. Actually, let me just go coach suggestions from here on out. I don't really know this playbook that well, so.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Was the call spot on? How about the execution of that defense right there? Solo was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down. But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play. Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try to find something.
Hub Shoemake on the blitz, and
the Bears are going to get the football back, and they're going to get it in great field position. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push. And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter? It really doesn't. They had to go and try to make something happen. They had any chance of winning this game.
Bob Kohler, he's got 78 yards for the game. Well, I kind of had a feeling I wasn't going to win this one. I knew as I was creating the team that the Bears are just superior in 1920. And again, it's mainly because they had the professional, the future Hall of Famers. The Packers only so far have Curly Lambeau, and he can't do everything. Kohler up to 83 yards and 5 yards on that carry. 2-minute warning. Kohler and Hugh Blacklock from the Bears is injured. Not sure what happened there. He's one of the linemen, I believe. First and 10. Kohler now over 100 yards as I'm just being eaten alive. I just don't have the right defense. I'm mostly freaking pass defense. Got nothing to cover the runs up the middle. George Hallis with his first reception from Walt Veach. I don't know, second reception. Honestly, they should be kneeling it. They should not be trying to score. Bastards. Well, that should be the end of the game. But it's the Bears-Packers rivalry. And if you can't try and run the score up, Fee Klaus with the tackle. Well, anyway, hope you enjoyed this, especially if you're a Bears fan. Enjoy seeing some of the Hall of Famers. Curly Lambeau, George Hallis, Jimmy Consman, Dutch Sterneman. Share. Make sure you give me a subscribe. It helps. If you do, click the bell notification so you never miss a sack to blast in the past or anything else that I upload. And until next time, I'm Vinny Vincent, and you're not, and I'm going to sit back and just watch the end and see how it's changed.
So for the Bears, it'll be a happy trip home as they start the season with a road victory here on a Monday night. And they will head home next week to take on the Seattle Seahawks. Meanwhile, for Green Bay, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll get a home date next week against the Minnesota Vikings. So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. From Lambeau, good night, everybody.